there's a trend that's going on right now online I'm seeing, and people are posting videos about their gear bags and what they're carrying. So I thought I'd jump on the bandwagon, but with a twist. I'm going to show you what I have been carrying, and I'm going to be working on building something better, something that's more condensed, and something that's just more organized as well. The way I have things organized right now is with these right here. These are, I think, makeup bags. This is what they're supposed to be. They come in packs of 3, and they are in varying sizes. I bought a few packs. They were relatively inexpensive. Basics, I found them in the makeup aisle at, like, I think Fred Meyer, I think it was. I think they were $8 for 3 of them. I've got like a variety miscellaneous bag of just random things. I've got one just for batteries. I've got one for the cables, charging things, some jigs, stuff like that. And then I've got this one, which is like the utility bag that I carry. It has the tools, has gaff tape. Gaff tape's very important. This is the small stuff, so it's great for traveling. And the miscellaneous bag is usually the one I actually carry every single day. It's just a variety of things, such as this is sensor cleaner. You always want to be traveling with this stuff, and the wipes are, I think, in my bag, so I've got to pull those out. It's scary to do, but extremely important to have and to do it often, actually. Lens cloth. Don't know why I bring this, but sometimes I do. SD card to Lightning. Sometimes I use it on my phone for editing or iPad. This comes in handy for that. I haven't used this in a long time, so it's maybe something I'm taking out. And I have the Moment anamorphic lens. Pretty good lens. I like it. I'm going to do a video on this in the near future. And the reason I have these bags is because they're clear. You can see your stuff. And I have a great solution as to how I'm going to upgrade these. I'll probably still use them, but I have another solution that I want to try out and test and see if it's better. But in the utility bag, I want to mention this thing. This stuff is amazing. It's called Light Lock. UV lights. It's glue. You put it on, dab it into whatever you want, shine this light on it, and it dries instantly. And I've never had this fail. I got various Allen wrench keys and screws and things. This is mainly used for my camera cage, but also for tightening up other sorts of things. You just never know. This is very handy. This is going to be condensed and redone, but I want to show you what I've got right now. All right, the next thing I got is this guy. This was like $8 or $9 on Amazon. Waterproof, highly recommend it. It is a SD card protector, holder, organizer, whatever you want to call it. It's for regular SDs and micro SDs, so you can fit 6 of them on one side and 6 on the other. So 24 total cards can fit in here. Gloves, I always bring gloves. These are the ones that have the little piece on there, so you can actually still use your phone and other things. They're not really that big. They're really lightweight. Now, when I'm out shooting like bigger events, I'm using the Audio Technica, and I can't remember the brand. I'll put it right here. Shotgun microphone, which is actually what I'm using right now for this beautiful audio. But when I'm out vlogging or running, guiding, or just shooting my videos out and about, I don't use that microphone. I use this guy. This is the Rode Micro. Super great. And I can use it with the iPhone as well. So it's a dual purpose thing. Works great. I think it sounds relatively good. I was using battery powered ones, and I could hear background hums and noises, and it was just too deep or too high. Like, I don't know. This guy actually is very, very good for my needs. So this is what I use. And it's not too expensive. I think it was $60. So I highly recommend using the Rode Micro. The next thing I will talk about is the cameras that I use. If you're a longtime viewer, you know my favorite camera to use is the Panasonic GH5. I don't use autofocus, so I don't need to worry about that, because that is the only really bad thing about this camera, is the autofocus sucks. Now, I did just upgrade the firmware, which supposedly improved that. But I don't really use autofocus lenses anyway. I'm a manual shooter, so it doesn't really matter. So that is the main camera. My B camera, or A camera for photography, is the Nikon D810. I use this for pretty much all of my photos. Not every single one of them. I have been liking shooting with this camera, GH5, with this lens. I've done some really great landscape shots with it, but my portraits and all that sort of stuff is this guy. And I have been using this for video for my B cam in the last several videos, and it looks pretty good. Okay, so the next thing is lenses. Let's dive into my 3 favorite lenses that I pretty much carry everywhere I go. Pretty much 98% of my lenses are for Nikon. I have an adapter, which is also a speed booster, and I use the Metabones. Is it the 0.64 Metabones Speed Booster, and that, if you don't know what Speed Booster is, it serves several purposes. One being that it takes full frame lenses and refocuses it to fit on a smaller sensor, which allows more light to come in as well. So your lenses, if it's a 2.8 lens, it's actually a little bit wider. And it's a crop reducer at the same time. Love that Speed Booster. Oh, number one is the one you are watching this video on right now. This is the Rokinon 10mm T3.1. Now, one of my other daily carry lenses is the Nifty 50, as people call it. The 50mm. This is just a great all-around, pretty inexpensive lens. And the other lens I carry for actually pretty much just photography, I haven't used it much for video, at least as of yet. This is the Tamron G2 70-200 2.8. I like this lens. It's a great portrait lens. The problem is I don't really use it for videos because this is an electronic controlled aperture or f-stop, whatever you want to call it. So when I mount it to the GH5, it doesn't communicate. I cannot change the f-stop like I can on these. So I can actually go, there's a little ring, see, I can manually control the f-stop, but this I can't because it's electronic, which I found out the original model, the G1, is. I should have gotten that one if I was going to use it for GH5. But it works great with my Nikon, because that's what this is, from Nikon mount, and everything works. I can still use it on the GH5, but I'm fixed at f2.8. I can't change it. I'm going to do a full review on it in the near future too, so if you guys want to see that, make sure to subscribe. Now I'm going to show two honorable mentions. The first honorable mention is also one that I will be doing a video on very soon, and it's the Laowa 15mm wide angle macro tilt shift. Yeah, it's a mouthful. Meaning, if you don't know what tilt shift, there's a little button here. Let's see, watch this. It shifts up and down, so I can take pictures of like buildings, realign things, and it's a macro. The focus distance on this, I can touch it and it's still focusing. I can focus on my thumbprint. It's freaking insane. But also, it's wide angle. It's a wide angle macro. Usually macro, you're zoomed in. Like it's a crazy perspective, and I've been using this for B-roll. It is only an f4, so there's that issue, but great lens. Now, the last honorable mention is this guy, and because I'm mentioning him, is this was my main shooter lens that I use now for the last several years. Pretty much any video that you've seen past anything before October or November, it was shot on this. This was my go-to lens. It was my first continuous aperture full frame lens. It's a 24-120 f4. I mean, it's not a great lens. It sucks for photos, but it's actually a really decent video lens. I still use it. It's still great because I can do good B-roll with it. I can zoom in all the way, get that great lens compression. The background is destroyed. But I haven't been using it as much because I'm really liking this look. Wide angle, just more of a cinema feel. I don't know, I just really like it. And this has been my main shooter lens. But I wanted to bring this guy up because I still use him. Still a really great lens. I'm still probably continuing to use it, but I have been fading this guy out. I'm going to touch on this real quick. I use a Gorilla or Joby GorillaPod, whatever they're called, but I'm going to probably be phasing that out this year because they're great. When they wear out horribly bad. And the only time they wear out is when there's a camera on it. And what I mean by is when they wear out is the joints become so loose, they just fail. So they could be sitting up and it just falls over. I've almost lost my camera twice. That's not good, which means it's not reliable. But I do have a GorillaPod that I'm going to be phasing out. SSDs. This is a 500 gigabytes SSD by SanDisk. Great thing, love it. Small, thin. You can almost eat it, but I wouldn't recommend that. This is an external one, like dedicated for an external. The other one I have is a internal, but put into a case that makes it an external one. So it's actually faster than this guy. All right, next up is bags. I've got 3 of them, mainly 2, but I'll throw in a third one that I use mainly for traveling. All right, first one up is this guy, which you guys should already know. I gave one of these away. Oh, it's backwards. I've started bringing it around when I meet clients because it's kind of a nicer look than like lugging a big weird backpack, or it just looks a lot nicer. Here is the other bag. This is my main, I'd say the main bag, the mothership bag. I'll bring 2 bags when I go somewhere, if I'm traveling or whatnot, but this is like the mothership bag. I can carry everything I can possibly imagine in this bag and still have some room left over. This is the Manfrotto ProLite something or other. I can't remember the name, brands or whatever, but I'll leave a link below. There's actually a review of this exact bag over on the old channel that was kind of part of it. Still kind of part of it on Geeks Life. Because this was David Foster's bag that he didn't like, and he gave it to me, and I love it. But it literally holds everything. Oh look, so I got some stuff in there. I got my HD small monitor, that's great. The main thing that sold me on it was I could fit my DJI Phantom 4 in here with all my other camera equipment and everything, all in one bag. That was the main seller for me because that's what I had at the time. Now I sold that and I have the Mavic, which is nice because I can actually carry it in that canvas bag, which is even nicer. But this still holds everything I can. So it has a side pouch for your laptop. Ooh, we got a little mouse pad, a little VMix mouse pad. It's just a really great bag. And again, I'll leave a link below if you want to check out the full review of us picking this bag up. We picked this up actually in Austin, Texas. Only downside that it is, it's really big. When you're wearing this, like, it sticks off your back quite a bit. It's pretty comfortable. It does have some strapping that you can kind of like take some of it off your shoulders and kind of distribute it nicely, but it sticks out off your back pretty far, and it can be awkward a little bit at times, but still love this bag. Okay, honorable mention bag is this guy right here, the Swiss Gear. I don't even know what model number it is. Again, I got this from David. He had so many bags he just get rid of. I'm like, dude, I want this one, and I've loved it ever since. I took this to Austin, Texas for a studio build, and I was there for 10 days. This was the only bag I had that was with my clothes, camera equipment, and everything. Wasn't ideal, but it worked. I wasn't supposed to be there for 10 days, by the way. That was the worst. That was the worst. That was my birthday. Flew out on my birthday and got trapped in Austin, Texas for 10 days. And I got sick. It was the worst. And it has like these shock absorbers, so when you're wearing it, it has like this bounce. So like, it's a great backpack. I've hiked with this backpack. It's been to Utah. It's been to Austin, Texas. It's traveled with me a lot, and I really like this bag. And if I can find a link to this bag, I'll post it so you can check it out for yourself. All right, lastly, what I want to talk about is when I'm traveling or even just doing client stuff, the other item that's in my bag is a laptop, and the laptop of choice is the Microsoft Surface Book Pro 2, 15 some inch, I think it is. Amazing laptop. I love this. It's technically not a laptop per se, it's actually a tablet, but it's a laptop. I mean, look at this baby. This thing has an NVIDIA 1060 graphics card in it. I think it's 6 gig, maybe even an 8 gig graphics card. I gotta double check into that. But it is amazing, super fast, i7, 16 gigabytes of RAM. So anything I can shoot, this thing can handle the edit. Super great, but it's getting a little banged up. I may have to, maybe I get a skin for it. Well, there you go, guys. That is what I mainly carry with me, because I'm going to be doing a follow-up to this one that will go over everything that I'm going to be carrying for 2019, condensed and like really locked in place. I've got some ideas for some great things. Do you guys have a gadget bag? What do you guys carry? I would love to know what you're carrying, because I'm still continuing and always will be adding to my little care package. No, that's not it. I should come up with a cooler name. My cinematic gear tech bag. I don't know, still working on it. Working title. It's a working title, guys. But thank you for watching. Consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. And be sure to lick that bell, because you know, man, you know you don't want to miss my next video. Trust me. Woo! You don't want to miss what I got next. Great stuff. Trust me. I'm Mr. Chris. And I'll catch you in the next video. See ya. How do you make money online in 2019? I'm going to show you a way. The perk is, it's sweatpants all day long, 24/7. Don't have to worry about getting dressed.